Hey, so I just knew it was time to go live. Sorry if the color's a little strange. This is just what this camera does with the outside. Do you like my little pumpkin back here? We still have a pumpkin, and it's still in pretty good shape. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, I have been wanting to do an ascension hand for the United States so that we can all sort of think collectively about where to go. And I've noticed when you ask a certain group of people, a certain kind of person, what are the biggest problems in the world and how could they be solved and what do people need to do to solve them? Really what you're doing is projecting your issues onto it. Nonetheless, there is one that has become their own hero and one that is still a victim. Raymond, how you doing? So the one that has become their own hero has solutions. They have ideas and they feel empowered to go for those solutions. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. Sorry. Um, so I was wondering why, okay, so let's ascend America. Let's look towards solutions. Let's look towards, hey, this is my reality. I get to make it. This is my party and I'll cry if I want to, but I don't want to cry. I want to laugh and play and dance. And it is being impressed on me recently how incredibly plastic reality is. How I was listening to this. Okay, so this isn't Kismet per se, but I'm sure it's going to work into somehow the Six of Clubs today. There is a YouTube channel called Jeff Mara Podcast, and he talks almost exclusively to near-death experiencers. And it just gets you in that other realm. It's such an incredible vitamin of 5D or higher, much higher. And oh no, yeah, that's a good recommendation. But Allison Coe, her most recent regression that she did, this woman said she went into the lifetime and she's like, I see myself at the controls and I've got big screens in front of me and oh, I'm a builder. I am a builder of the matrix. We up here in the building department take orders from Earth, requests, and then it's our job to build it, whether we think it's a good idea or not. So if somebody's convinced that the Earth is flat, they will build that reality for them. And then they'll find evidence to confirm it. And that's one reason there's such an incredible division right now, is that everyone's really convinced of the reality because it's real for them. But when you realize that you get to choose your reality, then you're like, oh, maybe I don't want such and such to be my reality. And then you become empowered. So the whole reason I want to do this Ascension, Let's Ascend USA, is to put it out there in the field. What can we do as a country with each other as Americans? And I apologize to the not Americans who are watching. I really do. But to talk about the Jack of Diamonds is one way to bring a big group of people together with the cards. So when I look at, I'm sorry, I'm going to put this terminology out there even if it's confusing. There are two grand solar spreads. And what we've learned is the descending grand solar spread. And I'm including now the ascending grand solar spread, which is, if you think about it this way, I just explained this to a 10 of diamonds I just did a reading for. Okay, so here's the perfect spread, and then we click one direction into these 44 movable positions, right? We click one direction, and we click, click, click 44 times until the 45th click, we're back to the pure spread, right? So what if you just go one click in the other direction? That's the ascending grand solar spread, which is, don't let this confuse you, the 43rd spread, because it is the 44th year, which is the last spread you get before you go to the perfect spread. So if we look at the Jack of Diamonds there, we'll get a whole new take on, okay, so if there's two spreads, it's descending, ascending, descending, 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 ascending, ascending, descending, ascending, ascending. So there's 4 different ones just with these 2 spreads. So my guides are saying we're gonna stick with these 2 spreads to start with, the Grand Solar spread, which is the pure and the life spread. So they're saying first take the ascending spread of the pure spread, which would be 10 of diamonds is our Mercury card. Speaking abundance. Speaking abundance. Rather than having it as a descending card, as a moon position, I feel secure, I feel safe when I got a lot of money. My launch pad is a lot of money, but it's also a lot of busyness. And it's a lot of feeling very self-centered. And that's one reason it's kind of become this toxic selfishness we see everywhere. What serves me? But if we reverse it and that 10 of diamonds becomes the ascending Mercury card, the ascending hands speak to what we have to give, what we have to put out there in the world. So think of speaking abundance over people, speaking blessing over people. I shouldn't say over, it's just kind of a biblical term. But when you speak blessing into or about someone, you're putting this expansion energy into their field rather than compression. And that's why we feel the way we do when we hear fear porn, whether it's mainstream or alternative media. They both got a lot of fear porn out there. It makes you contract, makes you feel small, and vulnerable, scared. But if we speak expansion, if we speak abundance, possibility, do the cards show if we are going to war this year in any significant technological changes? I will take a look at that. That may be more of a timeline question. Which timeline do you want to be on and create? Because I did feel the catastrophic timeline edging its way in, but I was like, whoa, that's in the field, this fear. But it felt much more like a desperate narrative and energetic that's being put out there so that we buy into it. And I was like, nah, not my timeline. So I feel certain that I'm not going to experience it. And I know that's a very subjective answer, but I will look into our hand. I'll look into our birthday, and September is what I feel like I should look at. But just to finish up this thought, so if we have the Queen of Diamonds in our moon position, that means we've spoken the difficult truths to ourselves. The Queen of Diamonds represents a nurturing, service-oriented energy that has the capacity to speak the truth, is also willing to have kind of a non-attached energy. She sits in Uranus, Mars. So there's a passionate drive to not be attached. There's also a passionate drive that Uranus energy is, what's the legacy I'm leaving? What's the humanitarian contribution? She calls us to our passion and really calls us to look at our stuff. So anyway, that nurturing feminine energy, we know we're loved. We're clear about what's important to us. And I understand. Well, I understand what you mean. So many people feel dependent. Yeah. Right? Exactly. You really choose your reality. You can choose to get freaked out by anything, right? Yeah, and we saw everybody on every, that event really pulled out where people were on the vibrational spectrum in terms of fear, really. And there was fear on both sides of the conversation. Oh, everyone's going to die from this. And then it was, oh, now everyone's going to die from that. And it's like, come on. I listened to a good video with Mark Atwood and this gal that he met on his little travels in the English countryside. He went to Cornwall and he met this woman in a bar, totally awake. And he just said, do you subscribe to the ascension? And I think what he was meaning is, do you believe or buy in? And she goes, I don't subscribe to anything. I create my own reality. I was like, wow, that's brilliant. Okay, so because we have this Queen of Diamonds richness, and this loving, nurturing clarity about what's important, what we value, which is very much this Taurus energy that we're going through right now. Venus is going into Taurus and going to give us a lot of clarity, especially with this Mercury retrograde going in. This conversation, Mercury and Venus are having a conversation right now astrologically. And it's a conversation about what's important to us, among other things. And safety, that word just comes into my head. So if you look at 10 of diamonds and 9 of diamonds, as a country, we can have this ascended conversation between abundance and generosity, all taking care of each other. God, I was listening to one video from, a supposedly inspired person who said, let's talk about food shortages. And I just typed in, I have more food right now than I've ever had in my life. This is not my reality. Please be sovereign, everybody. Bye. Choose your reality. So, wow, I didn't expect that to be the theme here, but with the descending of solar grand solar spread sitting in Neptune, Uranus, the Jack of Diamonds, is the creator, the imaginer, the bringing forth into reality, um, in a rebel archetype. Let's bring something new in here. Let's imagine it into reality. That's what our country really is all about. So let's fire that engine up and create what we want. So the conversation between a 10 of diamonds Mercury and a 9 of diamonds Venus card would be, you are so blessed, you are so full. I see you as an abundant person. You're just overflowing with goodness and abundance. And we speak out of that place within ourselves, right? When you're feeling that way, you see it all around you and you want to pass on that blessing. And then the 9 of diamonds is infinite value. The 9 of diamonds in Venus would say, in all of our relationships, we see that it's actually invaluable. A number cannot be put on it. It's of immeasurable value. How can you put a financial value on mothering, for example? How can you put a financial value on your friend calling you up and talking you through a really hard time? And yet we've figured out how to monetize all these things. But in our relationships, we see that it's impossible to put a value on it. The 9 of diamonds, it's not a card of loss. It's a card of numberless in infinity. Nines are the numberless numbers. So, okay, this is beautiful. I like this. Okay, so 8 of diamonds in Mars ascending would be your own CEO, be your own asshole, be your own controller. So the positive spin on 8 of diamonds is, don't be afraid to be an asshole, to look like an asshole. The system couldn't function as it did in a narcissistic, parasitic way unless it turned us into caretakers. And that's why that program is so pervasive. It's more than just like a family thing. It's been seeded into us for a very, very, very long time. And I have been just watching people get rid of that program left and right for the last, I don't know, this entire lifetime, but especially recently. And the 8 of diamonds gets called an asshole or a bitch because they inhabit that energy of empowerment. And yeah, of course, sometimes it goes south. But the invitation is to not be afraid that you're being an asshole. Are you taking off, honey? No. Oh. Hello, Tanisha and Eden. Nice to see you here. So we are talking about the Ascension hand in the pure spread for the United States. So I think the reason this came to me today is because the 6 of clubs today, the ascending card, the ascending Saturn card is the Jack of Diamonds. So we have an invitation to mastery of the Jack of Diamonds today, which is entrepreneurship. It's your own business. It's being a rebel. introducing something that's important to you. It's a playful energy. Everything that the United States is archetypally, try to pull the best things out of there. And that's our invitation to master that today. There's such a freedom and a non-attachment about that energy. So Jacks, if you take up all 4 positions, I should try to take up all 8 positions of all the Jacks and all the spreads. There's one planetary line that stands out, and that's Uranus. So all Jacks have a Uranian quality, and it's kind of like a devil may care attitude. It's like, eh. And they have a choice to either engage for the benefit of humanity and then disappear, or say, I just don't care, this is not my whatever. So, what was I going to say about that? The non-attachment. That's an invitation for today, is that kind of non-attached. I'm going to be a revolutionary and make a difference. But I'm not going to be too attached. I'm here to enjoy and play and experience a lot of really, really great things. Hi, Brenda. And I have to forewarn you, battery is looking good, but I didn't try to figure out how to plug it in outside here. So if that goes out, I'm out. It's usually perfect timing. Okay, so, and feel free to throw your questions in there, like L did, Raymond L. Questions about the United States and what's going on and so forth. Because something I could do is look in the ascending. Yeah, okay, so going back to that 8 of Diamonds in Mars. So Mars is that masculine action-taking part of us. And the invitation is to be your own boss, to be empowered, to take initiative, to have that yang agency in your life. 8 of Diamonds is very clear and defined about what it supports and what is unwilling to support. So yes, we can all get along, but the invitation of ascended pure spread Jack of Diamonds is to have that kind of chutzpah. So let's see, we got to talk about the 7 of Diamonds, right? Because I think we have that in Neptune right now, correct? Okay, so, and then my guide said to look at September 4, and we're looking at the 65th year. So yeah, we have 7 of Diamonds right now until our birthday. We're in Neptune, right? So in ascending grand solar spread, we have 7 of Diamonds as a Uranus type. Wait a minute. Mercury, Venus, Mars, it's Jupiter. Holy cow, let's think about that. Jupiter, Neptune, talk about the optimist. We really are as a country. Can we focus on what's possible? And isn't that the campaign slogan that wins everyone's hearts? Yes, we can. What's possible? Let's do it. Let's, whatever the campaign slogan is, it tries to harness that American spirit of possibility. So the 7 of Diamonds as a Jupiter card is a kind of unlimited possibility. The reason that Robert Camp calls it the Millionaire's card is because they can access, the 7 of Diamonds can access the spiritual realm. Like, it's the archetype of the, and I just came out of my mouth yesterday when I was doing a video. It's the archetype of the jester, the seer, and the prophet. And those 3 archetypes mediate information from another realm into this realm. And none of them are meant to conform to the society. They are meant to inform and possibly reform the society. So yeah, 7 of Diamonds in Jupiter today says you too could be a millionaire. And it's actually true. It's actually true. What is the American dream all about but the possibility? Isn't that amazing? And possibility exists everywhere, in every atom of the universe. It doesn't matter what your circumstances, there's always possibility because we are creators. But to have that vibration in our Jupiter, it means that we're essentially spiritually connected. Haven't we always had a very powerful spiritual guidance system? I've never thought about this before because they've tried to divide us along religious lines and spiritual traditions. But when you think about, yeah, they've really tried to beat it down and marginalize it and criticize it and stereotype it. Any form of spirituality, whether you're a psychic or a Christian or you know, a Jew, it's like there's always these dramatic stories they try to make about it. But the truth is, the majority of people in this country have a very strong inner felt intuitive sense of a spiritual connectedness. So that's kind of cool to think about. And if you think about that being our Jupiter, that's what we can offer as a blessing to the world. And it's what brings blessing to us is that spiritual connectedness. So moving on. So, and I just love that every one of you is like, I'll say 7 of diamonds and you go, oh, that's the what you call it. And then Jupiter, oh, that's this. And then you're putting them together and your inner teacher is informing you. And if you get little tidbits like that, oh, someone liked it. This is where I'm supposed to say, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, 6 of diamonds, which is April 15th, which I find very interesting. They know about this shit. They want to engage that sense of duty, caretaking, obligation. Do you know that you're legally not required to pay income tax? And the IRS is not a governmental agency? Anyway, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. So the invitation to master 6 of diamonds is balance, calling, get this, master the integration and the balancing of polarity. That's a big mouthful for Americans. Can you balance polarity? And we see it out there. Do you feel it within yourself? Do you see that one side of the aisle or, someone in another camp is giving voice to something that maybe you don't want to give voice to? Like, wow, I'm glad unconsciously, quietly, you're like, I'm really glad they care about that because I feel like I can't say that out loud, that I really care about that. But I'm glad they're defending that. Just pick any issue, pick any hot button issue, and you're like, I'm secretly glad that they're caring about such and such because, but what if you took that voice too and said, well, I actually do care about that? And, what if we all came to center, all came into balance within ourselves? We'd come into balance with each other. There'd be a conversation rather than a fight. Could you tell me about the King of Diamonds displacing the Four of Hearts on plate 65? And what exactly does that mean about ascending? Is this because you're the King of Diamonds, or did you mean to say Jack of Diamonds? Because I know the United States is on plate 65, but I'm guessing that maybe you're a King of Diamonds and you're 65, which would make this like very interestingly relevant. Okay, so the 65th chart is the same as 70, 69, 68, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60. It would correlate to the 17th year. Does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense. Okay. I think you just add or subtract 45. 55. Sorry, this is, I don't know why I'm confused. Oh, because I'm going the wrong direction. No, no. 65 would be the same as, okay, I gotta look it up. I've left my charting system incomplete, so I'm confusing myself. 4 of diamonds, 5 of spades. Okay, the 20th year. Okay, so I look at the 20th. Okay, wait. Displacing the King of Hearts. No, that's our environment card. We're displacing the 8 of Spades. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where this, okay. 20, let me look at the 20th plate. I'll catch up with you in a second, Brenda. Okay. Okay. Yep. Technically the 4 of Spades, right? Now, I'm sorry, I have to ask you another question. Are you asking this because you're 65 or because you're looking at your card in relationship to the United States being in the 65th plate, which would be very interesting. What is my relationship to the United States on the 65th plate? Where do I find myself? Is that what you're asking? Well, that would explain it for me. I'm having massive downloads. Ascending house and home is extremely relevant. Giving birth in my career energy. There is a plan. This fits to a T. 5 of Hearts, I'm moving in the Pluto. That's the Pluto. 5 of Clubs is I've had a change of mind regarding my living situation. That's crazy relevant. Whoa! Major discovery. So did you guys follow what I just said? And I'm not even sure this is what Brenda is saying, but we've just made a discovery. Find your card on the 65th plate if you're American, and you will see how you are fitting into the culture. So it would be the structures and the things around you as a country more than your personal work. So if I were to answer that question, oh, Raymond, right? Me too. It's like a friggin' miracle. I was despairing that I could ever talk to anyone at this level about the cards during my entire life. And to come on this community and talk like this and have people not go, oh, what the hell are you talking about? It's just amazing, right? Okay, so the King of Diamonds ascending hand would say, okay, that the King of Clubs is your emotional launch pad is more knowledge, more information, learning. The more information you have, the better you feel, Brenda. The King of Hearts in Mercury means you're speaking with a level of emotional maturity and skillfulness. And you're also giving that to the world. You're saying, grow up. The 3 of Spades in Venus means it is your pleasure to actualize, to be creative, to bring things forth into the world, and you're offering this to your friends. You're saying, just do it to the people in your life. And the 3 of Spades is also possibly feeling divided between 2 different locations. So maybe you have some friends in that situation. Your Mars card would be the 4 of Hearts, which is your task regarding career. The invitation is to feel emotionally secure and safe. Also regarding men in your life and moving forward, depends on feeling safe. And you may also, there may be men in your life that somehow emotional security is up. It's in the conversation. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. Your Jupiter is the 7 of Clubs, which means insight, downloads, discernment, genius. Genius is really, really supporting your success, your money generating house, so to speak. Your Saturn, your invitation to mastery, which you would also be giving to others, is this Queen of Clubs energy of wisdom, insight, intuition, organizing of one's information. So, wow, that is a really fun mini read for you, Brenda. So you can continue to look at that 65th plate. So yeah, that's the ascending. option, and you can also look at the descending. Wow, this is crazy. My guides are saying continue on with the Jack of Diamonds. Okay, now they want me to go all the way to the Ascension. So we would take the 43rd plate because it's one click away from the 44th perfect spread, just going the other direction. So that's going to the right around the magic circle, which would be ascending. So let's try this on. We find the Jack of Diamonds in the 43rd plate, displacing the 10 of Hearts in the Jupiter horizontal, Mars vertical. So this is where Jupiter would be. And I think both Jupiter and Mars are moving into, woo, there's so much energy around this, moving into Aries. Jupiter and Mars are both moving into Aries very soon. Or maybe they just did. It's powerful, motivating, forward-moving energy, which should give us all a career jolt for sure. And now let's answer some questions. Okay, so please ask me questions. You're welcome, Brenda. That was really fun. That was a great discovery, wasn't it? You know, I don't say this, but I'm going to go ahead and type this in. If anybody ever feels behooved to send me money, Brenda, I am not implying you owe me anything for this, but it just occurs to me. Oh, shoot, the sun is baking my computer right here. I'm going to put in illuminate. Illuminate me today is my email, and you can find me on PayPal that way. No, it's not. No. Sorry. Yeah, I have to rearrange myself because the black keypads on my computer are just cooking. Yeah, that's going to help a little. Good. Good. Raymond has a question. You should always have your Cash App or PayPal. You're right. Right. StreamYard, you can have your scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Just a quick tip. Thank you. You're welcome, Eden. Wow. So the 43rd, the Jack of Diamonds, ascending opportunity this year. Okay. What do you guys want to bring through? My angels are laughing. They're like, there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of angels. There are a lot of guides. But I have one main guide who is saying Jack of Diamonds wants to talk about the blessings of the United States. That would be ascending. All right. So the ascending, the highest potential of the personality of the Jack of Diamonds is right here. So three of hearts in Venus, and then we're going to go to the right and up from there. So three of hearts in the moon position, rather, is what brings us comfort and a sense of emotional security as a nation is that we like to have a lot of three-ways, man. Two chicks at the same time. Oh. You know, that same actor in the movie The Office who says that is also Rex Taekwondo in Napoleon Dynamite. Mars is going to be in Aries, right? So we should look at our Mars card. Oh, 8 of Clubs. Oh, man, go back and watch my 8 of Clubs video. What would you have? What would you choose if you had $1 million, man? Two chicks at the same time. So often what we want doesn't cost money or doesn't have to, you know. So anyway, your son is the 3 of Hearts. Oh, so does he feel that he is precious? to this country? Does he feel precious to America? Because he is. I would imagine that there would be this feeling of people feel safe or comforted around him. Oh yeah, hi Eight of Diamonds. Reka, I just did a really, really good little bit about the Eight of Diamonds. It's ascending Mars for the United States in the pure spread, which is agency. Oh, he's a Brit and he's pretty precious. So if he's a Brit, then Americans will just love him. Oh, I just tuned into his vibration. He's like a storybook type of fellow, like storybook magical, like perfect child, like, oh my God, he looks just like a hobbit or something like that. Anyway, yeah, what's his name? So the Three of Hearts the Three of Hearts represent, I think, kind of a non-judgmental, the energy of multiplicity, multiple options. It doesn't have to be binary, this or that. So it's the opportunity to get out of a place of you get apple pie or pumpkin pie. And when Americans are in an ascending energy, they realize that they get both and that it's not one or the other, or maybe they don't have to have any pie at all. It's on an emotional level, there is a feeling of options. And, to go ahead and bring in the two chicks at the same time, if I haven't been involved in this myself, but the whole polyamory experience, entering into that world completely rewires your brain. If you're like, okay, if the rules aren't keeping me right here with this person, never to stray, and there's this agreement and everyone's going to be okay with it, it really, really does change your brain. And the thing I don't like about people in that community is they begin to think that everyone's on the menu, and they look at me like that, and I'm like, I'm not on your menu, okay? The people on your menu are on your menu. But that's the feeling of it is, options. Where, okay, you look at the 20th or the 65th plate, which is the same, and then you just find your card on the plate. Or you can look at your 20th or 65th year and look at the displacement card. Yeah. James. He doesn't give his opinion lightly. That's so great. So, is it TSH or T? Yeah, what's your card? Are you the Eight of Diamonds? Just have to scroll up a second. Yeah. Yeah, tell us what your card is. So Eden, if you tell me what your card is, and I'm sorry I don't remember, but I can find you on the 20th plate. So ascending Jack of Diamonds. Okay, so this is very curious. The Jack of Spades. No. They want to talk. Okay. They want me to. We'll talk about that in a second. Our Mercury card is the Jack of Spades. So we think in terms of transformation. Helen Jane. Okay, Helen, Nine of Diamonds. Right arm. Go onto Clubhouse if you can and look up my Nine of Diamonds. God, I did the best Clubhouse on that. It was totally channeled a couple of months ago. Anyway, let's look at the intersection of the Ten of Hearts. That location. So Jupiter, Mars, it does what it sets out to do. It's focused, intentional, and for the good of all. There's this beneficial energy, this can-do energy. And that's what is so exciting, so motivational. I mean, we have so many motivational speakers here, and my invitation to ascend as Americans is to come back into that energy of, industry. Not like the industrial period, but a sense of industry. So we've been watching Murdoch Mysteries, a Toronto, Canadian-based, wonderful, they're up to 14 seasons, and they're still making it. But it's about the late 1900s. And I really think that the timeline got totally hacked right at that point, Tartaria, that whole story, because, there was Tesla, there was I'm not going to go into it, but like, every great thinker, every inventor, like so many. I mean, 14 seasons and they bring somebody famous like Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, they bring them in. Winston Churchill. They bring in all these really great, amazing people onto the show. And it's just demonstrated to me the energy of industry and possibility. And that's what we have and are. That is our identity when we choose to move up and become all that we can be, is this spirit of I can. And I have to speak to the pure spread position of, that 3 of spades that sits in the Jack of Diamonds position in this spread that's also the can-do, the actuator card. So what is Uranus Venus? Venus Uranus, well, it's the romancer. You're welcome. The romance. Vertical Venus, divine Venus, would be the power of love, friendship, that sweet, the beauty, all the beauty. And with Taurus node right now, we're really being, and Venus is going into Taurus, and this is really being highlighted. Coming back to beauty. We think of it as not too important or a luxury, and it's not. It's necessary. Have you ever been in an ugly environment for a long time and it degrades your spirit? We need beauty. Okay, so anyway, so the Jack of Diamonds in the pure spread sits in horizontal Uranus, vertical Venus. So yeah, that love, beauty vibration, and Uranus is like, let's pop the top off and do it in a way we've never done it before. Reinventing love, beauty, home. Maybe not reinventing, but revolutionizing and bringing a Christ consciousness to that. We don't really think of the United States as having a Venus vibration, but yeah, holy shit. I mean, this is a massive reframe. How is the United States feminine? Gotta contemplate that. And this is pure spread. This is the pure spread. It makes me think maybe we're not the Jack of Diamonds. Technically, I think the thing was signed. The thing was signed on July 2nd. So I've played with that idea too. Are we the King of Diamonds, but we've been made to believe we're just the Jack? I like the Jack better personally, but the King represents like no one can fuck with me kind of mastery. So you got to think about that. You've got to work. I've got to walk my... Oh, you're half beagle. Rescue from Ukraine. You got a rescue dog from Ukraine? How precious is that? Leave a note before you finish for the name of the video you recommended for the 9 of Diamonds. Okay, it's in Clubhouse, so you can download this app for free. And let's see, you can look up my name, and then I have a club called Kismet Cards for the Future. I don't think it's in there. I think it's in just my name. If you scroll down and look at the 9 of Diamonds, and if it says Lao Tzu in there, he's like got a Lao Tzu vibration. 9 of Diamonds, like they show up, they do their due, they give their gift, and then they disappear into the woods. They have this disappearing energy, but are they disappearing out of a sense of lack of value or from a centered place? Oh, I have another channel, and it's where I share my personal, like more psychological insights. I stick to the cards here, and I pretty religiously don't go into the cards on my other channel, but I get into a lot of other stuff, like at my last video, and it's just my name. It's just my name. And I don't know how to put a link to my channel in this one. Yeah, I guess I want people to really want to go to that channel, because I drop some heavy shit there too that I don't want to muddy the waters of Kismet. I want to keep this about the cards. So, what shall we talk about? Yeah, it's evening for you. It's 8 hours plus, so it's like 9 p.m. Really? Is it still? I bet it's still light out there in England because we're coming up on the solstice and you're in the northern hemisphere. So, wow, sweet. I bet the weather's really creamy too. Yeah, we were contemplating the Venus energy of the United States. Well, let's move on. So, Jack of Spades as ascending Mercury in the ascending grand solar spread would mean that we put out words that challenge. The blessing available is you can do this differently. And you know what? That is in the field. I've never really thought about that. I always thought it was just kind of a characteristic of my eternal child archetype. But there is always this kind of this little vibration in the air that says, you could completely do this differently. You could start fresh today. You could do it a completely new way. You could do it your way. You could reinvent this. You could come up with an original idea. I mean, think of the power of the Jack of Spades to create and transform, do it differently. That's exciting. Okay, Venus would be the Queen of Hearts. Oh, see, there we go again with this Venus energy. Let's consider the Venus of the United States. I wish I had the astrological chart of the USA and I could find out what our Venus is. So what's descending grand solar? Descending grand solar is the Four of Diamonds. Stability. But that's like the bare minimum, just being able to pay the bills, right? What's ascending? It's Two of Clubs. Our love of communication, our love of a good argument. Yeah, see, there's that Two of Clubs ascending in the regular grand solar spread invites us to really reevaluate our conversation with each other. Can we make it kind? And I just have to say, the media portrays our national conversation as like adolescent or pre-adolescent and narcissistically dysfunctional at that, like the most screwed up kid on the playground. That's how the media talks to each other or pretends that we talk to each other. But what is it really when you encounter a stranger? Isn't it usually really pleasant and sweet? I would say that's a lot of Venus energy. Yeah. There's a pervasive kindness, right? Okay, so the Queen of Hearts in that Venus position, ascending, is the mother, the divine mother sitting in Venus. The divine mother, as friend. It's also, it puts bliss, sexuality, marriage, motherhood in an exalted position there in Venus, where there is an honoring of the feminine and the mother and the wife, the daughter. And we know we are. We know we're like that. We love our Mother's Day. I mean, it's the most ridiculous day to go out to eat ever, right? Because everyone's going out to eat to celebrate their mother. This is such an interesting. I'm going to put together a course, a webinar. I don't know when, I don't know how. I've been told it's not quite time for me to start creating stuff. I have to get a little bigger following so that when I actually put on something like this, that we can have a good, healthy number of people that'll make it really interesting. But ideally, I'd like to have like 10 to 15 people in a Zoom so that we can, have a really meaningful exchange, or even 8 people. But I want to do an Ascension USA course where we go through this hand and really look at our own personal lives and see, our challenges being American, our challenges, what's easy, what's hard, what have I been free to develop, what have I been, what works for me and against me, and things like that. Oh, Eden, thank you. That makes me feel so good. Yeah, it's not quite time for that yet, but yes, I definitely want to do that. Part of the problem is that I don't really have the the tech support yet, but I have a friend who does tech. So technically I do have tech support. It's just not quite time yet. Anyway, I think I'm going to close it out for now because we've been going for a while. Unless we have any other questions, comments, insights. I really like specific questions about the United States. It's a little challenging for me, but it's really fun to field those questions. And then we've got a big field of insight here that we could draw some intuition and some answers into. Man, this camera makes the colors look really strange, doesn't it? Makes my cheeks look really, really pink, but I am kind of hot. It's finally hot here in Colorado. Also, tell me where you're from. That'd be fun. Oh, that's so sad. He was in Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come, and he was Shoeless Joe Jackson, right? Wow. I really liked his energy. It also made me a little nervous. Wonder what his card was. Okay, so let's look at the economics of the United States. Illinois, yay! I'm from Michigan. I'd love to hear you talk. No, now I'm talking like I'm from New York, but no, I get a Midwestern accent going when I'm around Midwestern people. 20. Let's look at the 20th plate because it's the same as the 65th plate, except for the semi-fixed cards are in the other position. That's the only difference. From Chicago. Goodfellas. Oh, Raymond, you were just so sweet. Okay, they want me to talk about the Ace of Diamonds. My guides are so funny. Truly, my card angels and guides are so funny because they'll like, it's right on every single time. They'll be like, you need to look up that person's, like I was doing a relationship spread. So the cosmic connections are so fun. I've been doing a lot of cosmic connections lately where you send me the birthdays and stuff like that. And then anyway, I was looking at this couple and then my guides are like, look up her spread and see what's in her period right now. And they never asked me to go that far, but she had this guy in her Mars period, which was right now. And it was like, oh my God. Anyway, they said, talk about the Ace of Diamonds. So the ascending cosmic lifetime reward card, or we would call it Jupiter Plus, is the Ace of Diamonds this year, which means it's a really, really, oh God, there's so much love coming through. The financial opportunities are rife. They're saying, please do not buy in to the scare talk because there is a birthing. It's like going from black and white to color. There is a birthing of value, finances, abundance that is wanting to happen, and it is there in the field, and all you have to do is reach up and pull it down like ripe fruit. Truly, don't buy in. I'm not saying that bad shit isn't happening, and I'm not saying the stock market didn't just, take a shit the other day. What I'm saying is that for your personal life, if you choose abundance, it's there. It's so there. So they're saying this would be a really good year to launch a financial project or product. The Eight of Diamonds is ascending Saturn plus. So it's an invitation again to become your own CEO. It's an invitation to that Mars energy. Take a hold, take the initiative and say, I'm gonna make my life great again. Yeah. Okay, good. We've got some. Wow, so fun. Ooh, that was some yummy stuff. Thank you, angels. Oh, so Jeff Mara also recently interviewed a wonderful, wonderful woman. I highly recommend this channel. It's spelled just how you would think it is. Jeff Mara is his partner's name. We all thought it was his birthday. He's the Jack of Clubs. It was birthday the other day, and that's his wife. But anyway, he interviewed this woman that talks to the angels, and what she said was just transformational for me, which got me in touch and in conversation with my angels a lot more. Does the card state that crypto will drop more? I would love to see Bitcoin at 8K. Oh, they want to answer you very directly. What I'm getting is transfer it to Ethereum. I know nothing, almost nothing about Bitcoin. I invested $25 in the one that they say is going to be gold backed. The truth is, everything's in transition. You know that behind the scenes in a very positive way. I think the Ace of Diamonds is an indication of a new money system. They're saying, look for the change card, a change in money. That would be the Five of Diamonds, which would be the same position. Okay, descending. So Ace of Diamonds is ascending cosmic lifetime reward, or Jupiter plus. Descending is the 10 of Diamonds with 9 of Diamonds, 5 of Diamonds karma, which means a lot of money, but something's going to end and something's going to change. I think you're solid with Bitcoin. I know it's been coming down, but what I'm hearing is that it will eventually be steady and hold its value. So maybe it won't go up, but I don't know. Every psychic's got their predictions with Bitcoin. Anyway. Oh, good. Oh, Jeffrey Mishlove. Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you. I love the ones that are inspiring. Need that. Let's see, what other insights come through? We could look for particular people in the spreads. No, nothing's jumping out at me. If you have another question, I'll hang out for that. Wow, it really is starting to get very, very hot. Oh, good. Is there anything else in the charts that explains the rise? Oh, it's a great question. I got to tune into my guidance about that, because I've got a different perspective on what's happening there, which involves if you look at the timing of it, when they tend to be concentrated and when they tend to happen, seems contrived. The timing seems contrived. Not saying that it's not real, but I also know that every single one of them, there's a connection to pharmaceuticals, especially coming off of pharmaceuticals. And I think there's some MK Ultra Manchurian candidate shit going on there. And it's like, oh, we need a distraction because all this other fear porn isn't working. Okay. Good. Okay, my guides are stepping in, and the wounding. They want to bring up, the wounding of innocence, and to do our healing around that. And something that I've noticed is that, we had a period of peace where there just was very, very little war, conflict, saber rattling. We had that for a period of time, and it sensitized us more to disharmony and saber rattling and a lack of peace, which was a good thing. We got more sensitized to it, and we were like, oh, I don't like this. This is not the way we should be doing things. And when this happens, and it's been a while since one of them happened, we're more sensitive, we're more awake, and it's sensitizing us to the robbing of our own innocence. And that is the spiritual purpose that is being achieved if each of us wants to do that work. And it's also getting us to reevaluate the whole practice of blame, assigning blame, but looking for causation. It's getting us to kind of reevaluate that. And the conversation is going to be I've noticed that it's more progressed, more evolved than it used to be. It's not the black and white type of thing. The 5 of diamonds on flat 50. Yeah. Okay, 50, which would be the same as 10. Or something like that. 11. Wait. Yeah, I have to rearrange these in my head because I don't have them. Oh, 50. Oh, 5. It would be age 5. So is this for you personally as a 5 of diamonds? Give me a little context, a little specifics here. Okay, so 5 of diamonds. At age 50. You know what they're saying for the level of detail that you're interested in? A reading would be really good, but oh, as a King of Diamonds. So you're the King of Diamonds, and we're looking at the 5 of Diamonds in your hand, correct? Where are you, King of Diamonds? Okay. I don't see the 5 of Diamonds in your hand. Okay. Yeah, I just felt like I'm lacking clarity on what you want to know, and I feel like there's a bunch of different interrelationships between the cards they want to look at. Okay. Raymond, I believe it's due to recent eclipse. I was told by a spiritual teacher that a lot of dark energy enters the planet when there is an eclipse. Oh, Eden, you're so sweet. That is a very good point, Raymond, and it brings out shadow. It brings up the shadow within the psyche for sure. Let me kind of think about that for a second. Yes, they're telling me that whether we think of them as entities that are like demons or evil spirits or entities that we create out of negative thought forms and fear, the dark is losing the battle. So that was a very specifically aimed event to fight the light. Because the light, I mean, it's a losing battle. It's like, why don't you just fucking give up? But see, they've had control over this planet for just, God, so long, thousands and thousands of years. And they've come from raping and pillaging the whole galaxy like a bunch of fucking Vikings. God bless the Vikings. I'm just watching The Last Kingdom on Netflix. But it's like, is pillaging all you guys know how to do? You're violent parasites. And that's exactly what they are. They're losing the battle. They don't want to give up. So this was their injection. And everything is a boomerang lately because the light is winning. So we're going to take the ascension hand every time. And we're going to be like, okay, let's take this as an opportunity to heal our own wounded innocence, the stealing our innocence. When did that happen in our lives? And how can we feel the pain of that and return to innocence? For example, yeah, they can't stop it. Yeah, I hear you, Raymond. I feel you. Yes. Oh, just for you guys right here. Text me. It doesn't say bone on the end. It says 6481. 64 bone. 64 bone. That's not a phone number. Yeah, text me. If you go to my website, that's just where it redirects you. It is oh, it's below. I have it below in the notes, my website. Oh, Raymond, that is so kind. And please give your wife, Alicia, a big giant hug for me. Alicia was just like laughing and laughing and laughing. It's just filled with so much joy. And I was like, oh my God, these people are just like, I'm so grateful that they're on the planet. I'm like, wow. my life just got a whole lot more optimistic. I mean, isn't that true? When you meet really good people, you're like, ah, you're doing your due just by being here. It's painful, but thank you. That is such a kind thing to say. Okay, you guys, I love you. Thank you for participating. This was such great fun. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.